Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's MBTV news. This is a news program, surprise, surprise, where we bring you news, surprise, surprise, about virtual worlds, immersive spaces online, and things like that. Try to avoid the dreaded M word, the metaverse these days. We used to use it as in every sentence of our lives, but it's so misinterpreted and corrupted nowadays. Trying to avoid it really, but we don't really deal with helmet land as I call it either. But we do deal with interfacing and haptics and things like that where it's relevant to the user experience of virtual worlds, etc. Right, my name is Mal Burns, and you can follow me. Yes, you can follow me on the musketry. I mean, the Twittery. I mean, the bird place. Yeah, except the birds have flown, but that's another matter. I'm still there, sort of. And you can find it by going to twitter.com/malburns, MALBURNS, no spaces involved, quite frankly. And I also post video material and stuff to Mastodon, which you're about to see very shortly. Those get relayed to Twitter too. So if you see something I'm talking about on video here and you want a link for it, you can go to Twitter and it doesn't matter whether it's a text article, a video, whatever. It all ends up there by relay, so to speak, at the moment. Right, so that's about it for the links and the introductions. I'm joined in the studio here by James Atloud. Hello, James.
Hello, Mal. Happy Sunday to you.
And a happy Sunday to you as well.
Ah,
James is busy fiddling with knobs and switching between video and my desktop and web pages and all. Well, I'm doing some of it, but he's mixing the audio and video as it comes to you, so to speak. All very stuffy and stuff. And talking of which, the big, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, do I?
stuffy and
It was
stuff. Yep.
it was all the augmented reality expo this week. A fantastic job, but talking of mixing and all that sort of stuff, they had an amazing stage. And also on video, when there was the stuff they were streaming, it was just so well presented with all the subtitles and the video itself and split screens if necessary, and an amazing augmented reality sort of background, a bit like a pantomime. So it was moving, and I don't know, it just had a feel to it. And I almost feel like I was here in London watching it virtually. I almost feel like if I'd actually been there in the audience, it might not have been so good, because there'd be people in the seats next to me, and to distract me. Whereas the stream was just wonderful. Anyway, you'll see a little bit of that as we go along. I'm obviously not going to show you 3 days worth of conference, but we've got a couple of highlights I'm going to be mentioning. Okay. So yes, as I said, James the Knob Fiddler and what have you,
Yep.
my production man, as I refer to him these days, rather than just cameraman. That's a bit boring and insulting, isn't it, James?
I
You
love
know,
I love camera work. I'm good with that.
okay, he's a cameraman, producer man,
Yep.
Superman. Yes. No, right, no, that's Batman, not Superman. Never mind. Right, let's get on with this thing. I'm not going to be singing too much today. We're not in a hurry to get off today because we haven't got another show following this week. So the temptation to faff around or go down the rabbit hole, as James would say, is high. But I
Hi.
shall resist. I have learned recently to avoid doing that. And it seems to be a rather full show, so we'll get on with it. As I mentioned, at Symbol Meta World at mastodon.social is a stream I have, and I put all the long form videos I come across onto that stream, so it allows me a separate place to look at all the new programs that have been up, separated from web links and stuff, even though they get to Twitter and join together, so to speak. A split in the road is so it's a split together, if you see what I mean.
Yep.
A metaphor for a picture I got later, but never mind. Okay, so I'm going to start with what I had on Mastodon, quite a bit actually. Um,
So that's
oh,
great.
well, I'm
So
sharing
just
the
sort of
screen for this. I'm so sorry it's a bit small and miserable. The browser here has done something crazy and it won't allow me to adjust it so I can just give you a large look at the middle column, but never mind. F Reality is a sort of more gamer based product, but they look at a lot of hardware and things. And they had a Meta Gaming Showcase recap. Unfortunate four-letter word there, but never mind. Showdown of the Giants, PlayStation versus the four-letter word, basically. So one can assume the four-letter word lost. Right. Also, Charlie Fink's video podcast with Ted Schilowitz and and Charlie Fink, sorry, Ronnie Abowitz. Um, Charlie, I think, was at all, but didn't do much. But Ronnie Abowitz, I certainly know, I seem to remember he did something himself on one of the other panels. Anyway, they feature a guy called John Riccatiglio, who's the CEO of Unity, and Hugo Swartz, the VP and GM of Calcom. So some hefty guests there, and of course, reporting a bit on it all too. Um, As usual, I've got two entries for one. Don't know how that happened. I think this was one of the ones where they told you it was coming a couple of days before it actually arrived, and then it came again. Right, okay. Now, as I said, ore in the USA has been a big thing this week. So there's quite a few actual interesting. So anything that's over 10 minutes is what I call long for, or over 5 minutes, really. This is a review of something called Zapbox, a mixed reality headset, and surprisingly awesome. And I think that says $80. It is. It reminds me of Google Cardboard, but it's actually something rather different. But
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
oh, Google, will you please stop interfering with me? I get griefers.
Sorry, I can't find anything like that on your calendar.
Well, you're not surprising. There isn't anything on my calendar like that. Just go
Sure,
away. Go.
sorry, I don't know how to help with that.
Oh,
Here
thank
are
you.
other things you can
No, I
try.
don't want any other things. Just go away, please. I don't know. These spam when you're trying to be on air. Do we have to start again?
I
She
don't think so. No.
just goes off like that. Who the hell do people think they are? Right. Well, try and carry on. Where was I? Oh yeah, well that's a previous Zappo. Oh, I was likening it to cardboard, which had a
Yeah.
prefix,
Yeah.
the G word. That's what got going, isn't it? Um, but it's very different things. So interesting to. How long was that one?
Hi, and welcome back to AWE USA 2023. I'm here with Zapbox, a very interesting product, and well, in this video, we're going to find out all about it. So,
Okay,
I'm
well,
here with,
you can find about it by following that link.
Yeah.
It's about 10 minutes clip there, so I'm not going to run that. And it's no good run from here anyway. Amelia Kalman's back again, her fortnightly big reveal. Her special edition is, I don't post all of her programs, but this one was a special on generative AI, which is all the big thing at the moment, of course. And there's a lot about it at all, actually, although they tend to be back to their roots in terms of back to basic AR and VR, which was quite nice to see. Anyway, yeah, she's got some thoughts about that, always does. Um, okay, or again, the Augie Awards. This was on Thursday. This is actually a copy of the live broadcast. If it works, it may not. Let's have a look. Yeah. Um,
Mm.
you will find that some of these are unavailable. They were available when they were live, but they're now off air. And you can, what if you're registered with, or even the free registration will get you, allows your IP address to actually get through and watch the videos, but otherwise not. But they always post up the individual sessions on YouTube in a week or two, unless they've changed their habits. The same will happen here, I think. Day two main stage keynotes. Yeah, that's a shame because these are the roundups. Oh, here we
So
are.
everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Nate from AWE, and we're excited to showcase some of the most exciting companies in the expo hall this year. So we'll be stopping by.
Right, I'm going to show you that one live in a little while. Anyway, discussing Metaverse That Matters with the Metaverse Panel Forum. This was at GamesBeat. First time I've seen it up here, but I don't. Well, one participant is very familiar, and it's Hamlet Orr, who is the sort of used to be a Second Life's embedded blogger many years ago, but he has a blog called New World Notes. Exactly why this isn't loading, I don't know. It's completely separate site.
Help.
Yep.
What do you mean help? Oh dear.
Hello
Yeah.
and welcome. My name is Shruti and I'm delighted to be joined by a great group of panelists to speak about the challenges
There
that
is
need
Hamlet,
to be
of
addressed
course.
in the gaming
Yeah.
metaverse. I know we have a lot to get through, so without further ado, let's get started. Can each of you take a moment, tell us a little bit about your background, what does metaverse mean to you, and what got you interested in today's topic? James, maybe we start with you.
Great. Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Wagner James Out. Feel free to call me James, but I'm the author of the upcoming book, Making a Metaverse That Matters.
Hello and welcome. My name is Shruti.
I'm having a bit of a problem getting out of
Hello and
this.
welcome.
Oh, come
My name
on.
is Shruti and I'm delighted to be joined by a great group of
Oh, Lord.
panelists.
Okay, I'm going to have to go back there and start again. Okay, so much for showing you a little abstract. So Hamlet Orr and various others on that Metaverse forum, making Metaverse That Matters. So quite an interesting sort of subject they're going through there. Right, more from day one keynotes at Orr. Interoperable characters, avatars, exploratory group, guest speakers. This is the Metaverse Standards Forum. And they
second presentation, which is more focused around like avatar interoperability. How
background, and what I'm advocating for is an industrial metaverse.
Right, okay, it's got a lot to that one. But basically, you've probably heard of the Standards Association, and they had some guest speakers. And it was an exploratory group, basically, dealing with avatars. Right, I'll come to the Voices of VR in a minute, but there were two this week. One was Fatboy Slim's groundbreaking trippy concert on Engage. And the other one was about the history of Europe. History of Engage XR's education, communication platform. So, different subjects there. There was an edition of the VR Crewcast, which is where a whole load of VR video bloggers, whatever you want to call them, get together to indulge themselves as a big team rather than individual show hosts. And then Between Realities, hang on, May 28th. Oh, no, that would be about right. That'll be early in the week. Tribe and Global VR were on the topic with them. And then we're back to Week in XR. And we didn't have Upload VR again this week, did we, Jay?
No, there was no upload VR, no VR download. I just wonder if they're busy with the Apple event. I think that's capturing a lot of attention.
Yeah. Yes, I think they would certainly be there.
Yeah.
Okay, Voices of VR, you can find at voicesofvr.com. It's one word, but the same letters you see at the top of the screen here. Except you can't see them, at least not on my monitor. There we are, voicesofvr.com,
Yeah,
but no
I see it.
spaces in the L. Right. Just two episodes, as I already mentioned, Fatboy Slim's groundbreaking and tribute concert, and then the history of Engage XR. You'll get this site is always worth going to because you've got several thousand editions and history to go through there. But if you just want these latest episodes, you'll find the direct links on my Twitter feed as well. So I'm now going to scroll up on my board here. And the beginning of the week, of course. So there wasn't that much the beginning this week. It was May the 30th. And this is the first of many things we got this week from somebody called the Scarred Ghost. I think that means we got a sound lurking. Yeah. It is. Sounds more like a wolf than a ghost, really, but there you go.
A ghostly wolf.
A ghostly wolf, there you go. Howling at the Moon. A werewolf. better not say anything else. He's going to see his picture in a minute. Anyway, yes, his week peak is where he starts the week, and his full name is Tony Vitillo, sorry. And we'll see a bit of him a bit later. Look at the Quest 3 there, XR journalists, and how XR people are invited to tomorrow's developer conference from Apple. And yes, all the buzz is, what is Apple going to do? What is Apple going to do? And with one, there's still a certain amount of mystery. One day, you know, it would be it's very unlikely there won't be a headset contraption, even if it isn't going to be released for another year. But well, we'd never know until Tim Cook takes the stage, so to speak. Right. Anyway, this you'll find at thescarredghost.com. So SKARREDGHOST.com, and it's the same title every week. On Monday or Tuesday, he'll have the XR Week Peak as his starting post of the week, and it's a roundup really of what happened in the previous week, which is basically puts it on the same page as our show last week. So I won't comment on anything there other than to say it's a useful place for get a roundup. Pretty much the same as ARinsider.co, ARINSID.co, where Charlie Fink does his beginning of the week roundup called Spatial Beats. And here he was obviously gearing up for the Apple Developers Conference, but also gearing up for all, which started on Wednesday, of course. So a lot of these early posts during the week are sort of looking forward to all, or so to speak. And next we have xrtoday.com. And Lenovo, devoted, who do Think Reality and Think Pads and all that sort of stuff, they've, in the lead up to all, oddly enough, on Tuesday this week, the day before all, they unveiled Think Reality. It's a VRX headset for enterprise end users, and it's going to be available worldwide, but it launched in the UK here. Haven't seen it or tried it on, but for some reason they launched it here. It costs 1,304 UK pounds. Where they got the 04 from, I don't know. 1,299 would be a bit more sellable, I would have thought, but their marketing department has obviously got their own ideas. Maybe they think it's just quite. Maybe they think they're being more honest about their cost when they round the retail price up to 4 pennies. Bit odd. Anyway, you'll find this, as I said, at xrtoday.com, xrtoday.com. And okay, and then we're back to the Scarred Ghost again. Oh. God, that the sound of the Scarred Ghost again. Woo! Now this is May 31st, so again, slightly before the All Conference started. He was over there, but this was just a review of Ultra Leap Leap Motion Controller number 2. Now, I had the very first Leap Motion. I've long since stopped using it, you know, so time has gone by. But they've now got a new one, which is much more powerful, and you can either have a version that like sticks on a headset and sees your hands moving. It's like hand tracking. Or you can use the desktop version. Oh, it's just the same thing, positioned differently. On the desktop, you can have a 2D screen and you can use your hands to navigate. So you could tap on something like on a touch screen and your avatar might move to it in virtual reality. Alternatively, if you're reading a magazine format thing on the web, like you get an issue and whatever, you'll be able to, you know, just flap your, without even touching the screen, you just flap your hand from the left to the right, and it's like turning a page in a flip book. And a lot of things like that, you can flip up and down to scroll web pages and anything that recognizes the left, right, up, down gestures. But you can also, it also recognizes your fingers, so you can keep various things with 2 fingers will do something, and you know, a thumb and a forefinger can resize images and stuff without touching the screen. It's all done by sensing your camera. So, you know, the much needed basic interaction for motion capture is really what it is. There it is. I can't say if I actually saw that in a shop, I wouldn't know for the life of me whether that was the one I've already got, which was years old, or whether it's actually the new one. There's nothing about the format Unless that is a picture of the old one. There's nothing really much in the format there. Anyway, as usual, Scarred Ghost, he loves talking a lot, or writing a lot, I should say. And there he is wearing something he's got. And that there is the Leap Motion controller. He's got the works on there. That is Facebook's portal camera by the look of it. And he's got this one here. Oh, and my portal has just opened. It wants to know why I mentioned it. I love it. Love it.
Classic.
Oh dear, we have to have a program called Meet My Techies.
Right. Meet my digital family. My
Meet
digital
my
family.
AI.
Right.
Meet my AIs. Meet my robots.
Yeah.
So the control has been very popular with researchers and VR people. So a brand new one is good news. So Tony here talks about it. Smaller and lighter. It's 30% smaller in size. So that's probably how you tell them apart. More accurate because of the higher resolution cameras inside it. More sustainable. Well, actually it works with web cameras as well as what it's got inside it, which is interesting. So if you have a very good quality web camera, it combines the Leap Motion sensors with the camera and gets you from better results. More sustainable, 25% lower power consumption. It's powered from a USB, so it's not particularly hungry on power anyway. Compatible with Windows, Mac OS and Android, and yeah, you read it right, all three. There's our comparison by the look of it. And right, well, from the front I can tell it's a different model, basically, because of the way it looks. From the back maybe not so, but as I said, it sounds like the size is different. They were launching at a tour, where else? And they were working with partners like Pico, DigiLens, Lenovo, Looking Glass and Varjo, which are also probably familiar names for you interested in this thing, especially, you know, these are brand names that are probably best known in helmet land because they are pushing this as a helmet accessory as well as a desktop accessory. So the fact that it is both is one of its selling factors, I think, myself. And there it is on the Mac, of course, plugged in. Yeah, like that. Farewell to Leap Motion 1. Well, rest in peace, I suppose. I actually don't have it plugged in anymore, but I have this plug-in interface plugged into a touchscreen monitor instead, and that works rather nicely. It's not meant to, but it does. So I wasn't complaining. I found out by accident. I plugged it into the wrong port, and lo and behold, my touchscreen suddenly started working on Windows. So instead of Android, right? Okay. Enough for that one. So. Just oh god, I'm moving backwards again, aren't I? I better start removing the stuff I've already done, otherwise I'll get my knickers in a twist as always. Right, and okay, one more post before I switch tack for a bit. This is arinsider.co, just ARINSIDER.co, no com, just co. And I don't know whether it had, well, there is a link here to part 1 anyway, it doesn't matter. Building the Metaverse's New Narrative, part 2. I don't know whoever in hell there is, but obviously AR Insider's a familiar site. And they just cover a lot of stuff, and this is just one of those articles, you know, just begs to be read, really, in terms of opinions. AR Insider is a bit like AR itself, you know. It sort of started with augmented reality, and that's where it got its name. But increasingly, they're going back to virtual reality too. You know, there's just no separating the bits involved in this, really. Oh, come on! What? Oh God! The AI is invading my computer.
Right.
I'm sure of it. In the course of the week, everything's doing stuff by itself, unasked. I hasten to add.
How lovely that the future can be blamed on AI.
Oh, bing off.
The best the best scapegoat ever.
Bing off. That's the one thing that hasn't bothered me yet. I don't think I've got any excuse to have it. You know, Bing is not a Mac thing.
Right. Oh, Cortana's going away too, I heard.
Oh, of course. You know, all this stuff.
Officially.
Well,
Right?
and our good lady the Amazon thingy person. She's not going away, but Amazon is discontinuing most of the services on it,
Ah, okay.
including your shopping list and all the sorts of stuff it's been trying to pitch itself off. So basically, it will presumably make a noise and tell you the time, but I don't think all the much trumped up services are going to continue, and that might actually mean that unless if it costs Amazon anything to keep running it, they may discontinue the smart home controllers. In which case, I will run screaming in the direction of what's the Bozo, isn't it? His name.
Yes.
I'll borrow an axe from that horror movie. And
Okay.
my quest in life will be to search for Bozo. If he hasn't run away to outer space by the time I find him. Okay, continuing, moving on. So, yeah, this is arinsider.co. And there's a link there to part 1 of that if you find the... in fact, you may prefer to click through to part 1 before you read the second part. Okay, now Nreal, another lot that have been around for quite a while. This is at uploadvr.com, the people whose television show is missing this week. This is David Heady, one of their hosts, actually, writing this review. It's about Nreal rebranding to Xreal. Gosh golly. And announcing a new adapter for iPhones, consoles, and PCs. It would actually still help if you could even buy the Nreal in Britain in Britain, where it was launched. You can't actually buy it unless you go to, I think, oh God, what's it called? It's an internet service provider, and you have to have an account with them. In other words, you have to be using them as your internet service provider. And they're not a very good one, by the way, to actually buy anything from Nreal on your account. So the average person cannot buy it. In America, it's on sale in proper places like shops, not in the UK where it was launched, which is very weird. And what an extraordinary, interesting picture that is. How far does that go down the page, I wonder? Okay, well, we get there in the end. Okay, so they're now known as Xreal, and some people the consumer AR glasses in the US, Nreal Lite, launched in the end of 21, but they're now they've got the Nreal Air, and they're going to be launching more. Some people suggested that the change in name might have a little bit to do with, there was a lawsuit filed by Epic Games in 2021 where Epic alleged that it was no coincidence that Nreal's name looks and sounds virtually identical to the Unreal game engine. Unreal, and then Ureal. I think it was complete coincidence, actually, and they from what I gather, they haven't been forced to do anything. It was a court case that went pretty much nowhere, but presumably they probably think it's a good idea to separate the identities a bit more clearly anyway. And as I say, they're connected with love this picture. I don't know what that looked like on an actual web page. It must be pretty awful, actually. Anyway, so you find that article at uploadvr.com, uploadvr.com. So, removing that one, just checking out how many more I've got left here. Okay, well, I've got some various stuff here that's for a different program. Okay, Okay, we'll just take a little interlude, I think, and I'm going to switch over to a screen with some videos on. Now, I've just got, these are 4 express clips. They don't, well, they bear on all slightly, but just, they're very quick clips, so I've actually joined them all together in a folder, so to speak, so you can watch them all at once. They're just the PR jobs for the week, so to speak. So let's start off with X-Reality Safety Intelligence Launch Trailer. I think that's a bit longer title than the film itself, but never mind, let's see.
Some things you'll fear, and rightly so. Some things are unfamiliar, and You may fear them just as much, harmless as they may be. And some things, some very dangerous things, will quietly slip past, and you'll not flinch for the slightest alarm. As our worlds shift and are forever changed, new technologies race towards us, on course to shape our futures, both for better and for worse. We are X-Reality Safety Intelligence. Join us for a safer, more aware journey into the emerging realities.
I'm just going to pause there, actually, because as you can see, that same video there, it's actually a digital renaissance, and it's about something called neural Angelo. Neural as in neural feedback and stuff, and Angelo as in Michelangelo, I suppose. I don't know. But I was listening to a conversation earlier in the week. I forget whether it was or somewhere else. And they mentioned an app on the iPhone called Scaniverse, I think it's called. I'll tell you very briefly, because anyway, I'd already had it. Yes, Scaniverse it's called on the iPhone. I don't know if it's available on others. And I started playing around with it. And my God, it is just that. Now that summer's here in the Northern Hemisphere, or Britain, or, well, for as long as it lasts anyway, a good excuse to get out and about with the iPhone camera. I'm not going to be taking photos for a long while because I'm going to be doing Scaniverses. I can go over to the park and see a statue, rather like the beginning of that film, and then I can walk around it, filming it, taking a video. And this Scaniverse then does a 3-stage conversion. It uses all the angles it does to sort of make a kind of 3D model, and then it uses the LiDAR sensors and everything, and basically it makes you a 3D mesh of that statue, which I could then import into somewhere like Open Simulator or Second Life, and I've got a ready-made statue taken from a photograph that I walked around. And it's a 3-stage thing, so you've got the texture map, which will be the right visual look, and then you've got the bump map, which means you've got all the grooves and things in the statue accurate, and then I forget what the third scan does, but it's I think it's the LiDAR or the distance thing. But anyway, and I tried it out indoors on one of my shoes, believe it or not.
Nice.
And and then I looked at it and thought, well, I've got a new pair of shoes. It works, it's amazing what you can do now. The trouble is, it's probably only going to be a day or two before it downloads an AI update and does it for me. But and then it will be downhill from there, won't it? Anyway, to continue, this is an introduction to that Leap motion controller we were talking about from Ultra Leap. Woo.
Okay.
Sorry, something. Yeah, I just got an alert from Apple about this program that we're in. But oh yes, it has. It's quit. Oh, that's a bit awkward. Don't know why it did that. Okay, well, I've just loaded it again, so hopefully we aren't in too bad of news. News clips. There we are. Express clips. See if we can find it again. It was only 20. I thought it was actually over because it's only 23 seconds.
Short, yeah.
Well, there we are. Right, moving on down here. Long form is on hold. Is not relevant to us, I don't think. No. Okay. Then I say this is what I call like the preview shorts of the week. These ones are slightly longer, but only about 2 minutes each or something, so not going to take up too long. We're going to start with the presentation again about the one we've just seen, the Ultra Leap controller, but this is actually doing the Minority Report moves with Ultra Leap, and this was from the All Conference. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Tony Vitillo, otherwise known as Cue the Music. Yes. That's what happens when he opens his mouth. Anyway.
And here we have Tony Scott Ghost trying out a holographic display. What's going on there? Oh, look at that. Is it Tom Cruise? Almost. It's even better, actually. Even better. This is Tony Scott Ghost trying out the Leap 2 with fantastic ballet-like dancing gestures. Oh, look at that. It's performance art in the making. Oh, yes. Well done. Okay.
Hi, and welcome back to MRTV. I am super excited.
Oops.
I'm here.
This is MR, Mr. Chief. Well, never mind. This
Hi,
is
welcome back to
the first report.
MRTV. This is Team MRTV. Sebastian and Marco. Hi. Hi. We are here in San Francisco, as you can tell. We arrived yesterday in order to cover AWE USA 2023. And before we get into the video, first of all, you can still join the event. This is the most important XR event, and you can still join. It's going to start this Wednesday. And if you want to get 25% discount for the tickets...
Well, enough of the PR, it's over. Hang on.
The tickets, go for code F with 2. Team RTV is more than 2 people, but it's us, Marco and me. And Marco, how do you feel about being in the States for the first time?
Yes, I'm very excited I was very excited for the trip, and it was a very long trip here from Germany to the USA. And yes, it's the first time. It's really nice here. I mean, we're in San Francisco, as you can see at the Golden Gate Bridge.
It's pretty amazing here, right?
Exactly. And the next days, yes, I'm looking forward to the next days and to meet some people on the AWE, to meet some new.
I rather wish I did this for you, but never mind.
Important industry event for XR. We're going to see the latest product, the latest hardware. We're going to meet the most influential people. We're going to
do it all.
So we're going to go to the booth. We're going to interview people. We're going to go to the parties to make you feel you're there. So that's going to be very exciting. And the great thing is, before I always covered these events only me alone, but
face the camera here and the audio.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I like your Twitter ad.
I'm going to save a little bit of time here because all this I thought they actually went in this particular clip to decide, but they didn't actually produce that much over the thing, but they did do a follow up to that with the show beginning, and I guess it was this one. So it begins. That's the show.
Hi, and welcome back to MRTV. I am super excited. I'm here at Santa Clara Convention Center, and today is where AWE USA 2023 starts. The most exciting and most important expo of the XR industry. And well, I'm here with Team MBTV, with me and my teammate Marco, who is behind the camera to capture this, to cover this for you in the very best way, in a way that you would feel that you are here with us. So you can feel the excitement here. Lots of people are coming in now. It is close to the keynote. The keynote starts at 9 a.m. local time here, and wow, it's going to be a hell of a keynote with Ori Inbar. I'm saying hello to Neil Stevenson, the author of Snow Crash, the man who has coined the term metaverse. So I'm excited to find out about him and to learn about what he has to tell us, about what he thinks about the current stage of the metaverse. Let's have a little look around. So actually behind you, where I was just standing in front of this is where the expo tomorrow will start. So lots of interesting booths. We're going to check out the latest VR and XR tech, and obviously we're going to go to each booth and we're going to show you what everything is about. That is going to be going to happen there. Let's walk a bit more around. So here you can see that people are picking up their badges, really important. We got ours yesterday already, luckily, so we can directly start like this. And just join me. There's also a second level with private rooms and with a press room. We're going to be there if you're looking for us. And here, let's simply follow me. This is live recorded.
Was.
Let's now walk to the main stage.
Oh, I've lost my sense of direction already.
Will be closed at this moment because they will only open the doors close to it. Let's have a short look at one of the rooms here. Okay. This is actually.
It's awfully quiet now.
It's gone quiet. Yes, I've actually upped all the volumes, and it's not helping.
Yeah.
That's a smaller version than the big main stage, where you can see the background there.
Now, let's keep on moving.
No, it's got its volume back.
And let's have a look at the entrance of the main stage. The main stage is going to open soon. And wow, I'm looking forward to the keynote. And for the very first time ever, MRTV is going to live stream the keynote for you. So simply stay tuned here with MRTV. You'll be able to watch the keynote live on MRTV for the very first time ever, because MRTV is the official YouTube partner of.
I would add that the conference itself actually did stream everything on every stage themselves. So whatever they did was a byproduct, really. But the keynotes, exactly, as you saw earlier, some of the links no longer work, but they will come up again. The keynote was Ori Inbar starting it, then he introduced Neil Stevenson, and they continued to talk, so it's all part of the same sort of keynote. Ori Inbar has always done tried to figure out some kind of great way to open the show, and suffice to say, he came on stage and introduced himself and talked about the conference and everything else. And he was doing it from like a little booth at the center of the stage. And the background of the stage was, I mentioned earlier, that lovely animated sort of thing. And anyway, he gets about halfway through his presentation. And then, lo and behold, he walks on stage and talks to himself. And you realize only then that the Ori Inbar who's been introducing this conference from the stage is actually a hologram. And when he walks on, you know, definitely a reality problem. Because the hologram was so convincing, the idea that he's just walking up to his hologram self and taking over the talk is... it's great, you know. I certainly didn't click what was happening until the other Ori came on, and then of course Neil Stevenson after. So that was fascinating. Anyway, on with this little clip. If there's anything much more to see, I think there's a little bit more.
AWE. All right, let's have a look here. And cool, look at this. The main stage is open already now. Let's have a look into it. Okay, let's just walk in. Okay.
Good shot of the main stage there.
Yeah. So here is where everything is going to go down. Check out that cool video equipment there. Still a bit more professional than what we use here to walk around, but that is totally fine. Welcome to AWE USA 2023. This is MBTV, and we're going to cover this in the best way possible. Simply stay tuned. I hope that you will enjoy our coverage. If yes, well, give it a thumbs up as always. Do subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss any of our videos. Click the bell button.
Okay, stopping it there. I do have one more I was going to show here, but I just realised we did show it in advance last week. It was actually a video roundup of the finalists for the Augie Awards, as they're called. Now, the actual awards, in other words, not just the finalists, but the winners, happened on, I think it's the second day. I think it was Thursday. Again, that was actually streamed, and it's on one of those links. As I said, all normally publish all their, sessions a couple of weeks after the event. The replays at the moment are actually for registered attendees, and I was registered as a virtual attendee, and it cost nothing, so it's nitpicking really. But obviously, I can get through some of this stuff. I think we'll probably cover this a little bit at a later date, some other highlights as they come along. I would actually quickly move to what I've got here, which we're not showing actually. I actually have already copied three of my favorite panels really, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to our picture section. And here we are. This was actually on Friday, June the 2nd, and I've actually got film myself. I'm not showing you, it's too long, of these three, but they were very great. The Virtual World Society did one, and Tom Furness, who's a wonderful expert on all this stuff, was the main one on the first panelist. And these were literally happening each after the other on what was it, Thursday morning. And oh no, sorry, I've got this wrong. The first one, Augmented Ecologies, was hosted by an old friend of mine. She was known in Second Life and Open Sim here as Tara50. Her real name's actually Tish Shoot, and as well as being a pioneer here in Open Sim, which is where we filmed this show from, she was one of the co-founders of OR itself with Orion. She hasn't been obviously present for a few years on these, but she was back at this one, and looking at AI and various such things. You couldn't want a better person to analyze this stuff. It was the second one that had Tom Furness and was the Virtual World Society. And the third one was actually a keynote. A little publicity on this. That was on the main stage from Philip Rosedale. Great title here, Good and Evil in the Land of Avatars. That was the name of the talk. And they said it was going to be looking back at 20 years of Second Life, and I don't think you mentioned Second Life once. So interesting, but a very thoughtful talk, and sort of what have you. We've got some pictures. That's Tish Shoot, hair tied back and with goggles on, very, very almost unrecognizable actually, but until she spoke. So these are just some still shots. This is a still shot of the way the video looked to people watching online. They had the live video of the stage. They had it was inset on a still, well, it was actually a moving graphic of the stage artwork, and then the logo, of course, and then actual text translation of the text that's actually going on. And it's all on one screen there. And in the case of some of the keynotes where they were actually doing a presentation, it was rather magical, actually. This screen was split in two. And if you imagine drawing a line where my mouse is, this one, which will be a sort of vertical picture of the speaker, shifted a little bit to the right, and the rest of it shifted a little bit to the left, and you would see a PowerPoint or a slideshow or whatever they were talking about side by side on the screen. It just looked, just looked really thoughtfully done for somebody who cares about these things, I think. Right. This actually was a great graphic. I forget who posted it now. It may have been, I think it was on Philippe's talk. Sorry, I'm getting all confused here. Tish. This was about, they were talking about AI and being at the crossroads. And this I just think was a very good picture, because if you took the left turn, which they were saying that's where we want to go, this is where we're in control of it all. And we make the rules and we define the way we want to use this. And then taking the right turn is the dangerous thing, where it's the dystopian surveillance society that takes over. And, go left, you've got a simple headset, you're seeing, it's your world, so to speak. Go right, and it's no longer your world, it's part of a complex mess. And there's a sort of, the story here, the fable, parable, whatever you want to call it, is didn't this just happen to the web? Back at the dawn of the World Wide Web, it was all free to use, freedom of information, worldwide communications, breaking down walls and barriers. And what is it now? It's more like the picture on the right. So interesting little graphic there, I thought. This was, I think these quotes come from Tom Furness. Defined more than anything by how you communicate. After all, the metaverse and virtuality and all that is largely about communication. I don't know, still remains to be seen how AI fits into the world of communications, but it can't create. It can disseminate, but can't create, basically. Okay, this is a nice phrase. He says that language is a virtual machine running on top of the hardware that we call our brain. It enables you to think and understand things that your primitive brain could never reach. You think in terms of language, it's not just speech. And these were just highlights of, some quotes. That's just technical, that one. It's... Right, now touches the guy from the antic, but never mind, move on from that. Yeah, this is I'm going to put this in and we'll stick with it here. As virtual worlds go, Philip Rosedale, after he finished Second Life and went and did a few other things, started a second virtual world called High Fidelity. And it was very good, but it didn't really fulfill the long-term dreams he had for it, and also it was competing in many ways with Linden Labs' own Second Life. When High Fidelity still goes, but as a company, but not the actual virtual world. But when the virtual world folded, the whole package was taken over, as it were, by a company called Overte.org. I've put in the type on the picture here, OVERTE.org. And they've been tweeting a lot recently, with pictures like this saying open for business. And basically, they've been around before this new hype of other metaverses, because they've come out of the High Fidelity era, really. A bit sort of timing wise, roughly about the same time as Linden Labs launched Sansar, although it's still going on, but it's not theirs anymore. Anyway, I'm a sucker for chess balls as well, so that's just a little picture advertising Overte, and you can log in there and get an account just by going to overte.org. Now, 2 guesses. Can we start howling again? That's Teddy Patillo, the Scar Ghost, but the person he's standing next to is Neil Stephenson, the author who invented, wrote a novel called Snow Crash and invented the word metaverse. His idea of the metaverse was, slightly different than what people have adopted over the years, but not that different. Although what they've been since Facebook and companies started taking over things, well, it's downhill from there. But anyway, great science fiction writer too. Now, this is funny. This is a different event completely from earlier in the week. This was Kronos. This is Neil Trevett. Yeah, and these are some guests he had on stage. All these people are involved in like the open metaverse sort of thing. This isn't Omi. It's oh God, just when you want the name, it's the mind goes blank. Let's see if I can get my magnifier out and actually see what the text says at the back there. Oh yeah, Kronos. I was right. Okay, so Neil there with the microphone is the president of Kronos, and he's also head of the Metaverse Standards Forum. And this was a meeting earlier in the week. There was some video I think I mentioned earlier covering this. It was more of a sort of technical event, you know, because open metaverse standards are something that is still being worked on, and this is kind of an independent group of people from various places. Neil here is great. He's popped in on our Omi video calls quite frequently. We have them every week. Right. And oh yes, tomorrow you won't be able to ignore this. The symbol, the new Apple hollowed out. See, it looks like somebody's had a bite out of the. What's the old Mad cartoon where you have this vampire walking down the road and he takes a bite out of a hippie's neck and suddenly everything goes psychedelic? Well, this looks like the Apple logo has had a bite taken out of it and suddenly all the colours have gone psychedelic. I don't know what the significance is. But anyway, the slogan for their talk tomorrow is Code New World. So they're obviously pitching for the developers and they're going to be showing off technology that may be a while coming. But basically, this is Apple all the way through. They want to be able to distribute copies in advance to developers. They want the developers to have all the apps ready for when it goes totally public on sale, so to speak. So it will be key as to how the developers take it and run with it. With the iPhone and the iPad and the iWatch even, the developers liked the product and they ran with it and made it what it is. And Apple needs people to quite literally run with things and help them get them off the ground. So that's tomorrow. Now, I will mention too, what's it? Oh, there's old Shakespeare again. That's my new avatar, you know. Yeah. Look at him. Very refined, I think. Sorry, he's a standby in there. Oddly enough, and I'm not going to really, I'm just going to pass on this, but there was another conference here in London in the early part of the week. It was called Web3 conference, I think it was called. And they had a video feed. Now, not only over the course of 2 or 3 days was it filled with people, none of which I'd ever heard of, but the video stream was so abysmal. I mean, it was unwatchable. You couldn't hear what they were saying without, and when you put everything up to full volume, it went hot and it was very sort of tinny. I mean, you know, it was like, you know, it had been filmed on a VHS by a 5-year-old or something. It really looked abysmal. And I didn't even link to them or post the videos anyway, because it would have been an insult to give you a link to such a complete disaster. So not only do I not really know what was discussed and what conclusions or exciting things happened, I don't think much, but it's totally unwatchable. And if they post the replays, I imagine it would be exactly the same. So shame about that, and a bit embarrassing for Great Britain here, but never mind. Never mind. Okay, I'm slipping back to the web links again as we move towards the end. So Nreal rebranded, of course. We got to that bit. Okay, Qualcomm Communication Company, they announced new Snapdragon Spaces features. You'll find this at auganix.org, auganix.org. And, well, Snapdragon Spaces has been around for quite a while. So this again is a sort of roundup site anyway, but that was, they led with that one. momentum toward building a cross-device extended reality ecosystem to create a head-worn future that is truly open. Well, I agree with the open bit. I mean, do we really want a head-worn future? One of the feelings I got from all is nobody does want that. The idea of being encased in a full immersion rig for any length of time is something people, even the techies, are not really that happy about. But they like the idea of being able to jump in, which is something I sort of feel. Anyway, yeah, that was their news, developer community, etc., etc. So you'll find that at organics.org. That's AUGANIX.org for that little roundup. And I came up with some. It had to happen on my Twitter feed anyway. But the actual title is an AI girlfriend you can get an AI girlfriend now, and the woman's doing it has already made $72,000 in 1 week. A girlfriend who wouldn't mind you forgetting her birthdays and anniversaries is finally here. I don't think that's her. I think that's just the right, Snapchat influencer rakes in. That's the money. Her name is Karen, 23-year-old girl. She's an influencer. She's leveraged GPT-4 and GPT-2 to create. Sorry, I was tripping over my words here. Creates an AI girlfriend version of herself, and no, it's not that way. I've lost it. Right, I thought I had a video of this, or there was one on the site, but I can't see. Anyway, you can actually sign up, and apparently for free, and then to get extra stuff, you pay £5 a month. And oh no, that's the website. What am I doing? I don't know how she makes all this money. I'm trying to figure that out. But well, they're raising other issues here as part of the article. News of a man who committed suicide after being encouraged by an AI chatbot has opened up a new conversation about potential changes. And well, it's interesting, actually. We had quite a long diversion of a conversation in our In-World Review show, which followed this show last week. It was the last of the season, but we found ourselves basically talking about using AI in the virtual world of OpenSim, but we diverged into a bit more of the serious conversation, shall we say? Anyway, there's been complaints about some of this, but the Forever Voices, the CEO John Mayer says they're planning to appoint a chief ethics officer to make sure everything's above board. This, by the way, comes in the week where another senior executive has left Twitter. He's the guy responsible for ethics. Just thought you'd like to know that. Everybody's deserting the stinking bird. Well, the flying away bird, I suppose. Who knows? Okay, so I wish we, presumably I've got to pay £1,000 or something to get the virtual girlfriend, so that I can show it to you. So never mind about that. You'll find this link if you really want to follow up more information at a site called Level Up. That's one word, LEVLUP, and then dot, and then Git Connected. Like GITCONNECTED.com. So levelup.gitconnected.com. And oh boy, it had to happen, didn't it? Had to happen. Right, another post here. This is at roadtovr.com. And actually, we're on old ground already. We've covered this already in the show. But this is another little review here of the Leap Motion version 2 that has just appeared. So remove that one, remove that one, and okay, this is a site called digitalbodies.net, digitalbodies.net, and this is a roundup again, or what else? This was published June 1st, which would have been right. This is the beginning of all, in fact, but good piece of PR for it for the early days. But basically a review of what was coming and what it was covering, and stuff. And that's got a neat little poster. No, never mind. And yeah. This is the one I was telling about. That was the hologram of Orion Bar, who talked for 15 minutes before this one. The real one actually came on stage. And actually, I guess there's a still photograph scene there. It's a bit more... It's possibly the game is given away a lot more. On video, however, they rigged that in such a way, I guess it was front on, and it wasn't quite so obvious. How meaningful for why has he got a white backdrop at the side of the stage, and he's got a shadow and everything, so I don't know. Okay, so they did that one. This is him again, but in the second part of the keynote, he's joined by Neil Stevenson there. And yeah, so a roundup of what was happening there in text form. You'll find there at digitalbodies.net. And okay, arinsider.co, ARINSIDER.co. Reality Bites is their roundup of the week, looking at Apple, Roblox, and TikTok, and various other things. Oddly enough, maybe this was before. I'm not sure what the date on that is. It doesn't seem to be dated. It always sounds like it came out before the All Conference. But anyway, it's a regular roundup there at arinsider.co. Sort of probably every week, I think. Okay, and Skull Ghost again. He had the highlights of day one on his blog there. So scarredghost.com, SKARREDGHOST.com, and well, we'll pass on the sound effects. I think his throat must be hurting by now. I think we got
the idea.
Yep. Yes, there he is with Neil Stevenson. So he's obviously posting pictures of himself there, and various things. They're actually there. That probably gives you a better idea. That's not full on, but you can see that the hologram version, it seems to be a bit headless there, but his head's drooping down, I think. It looks more realistic there than the other photo, but on the video it looked very good, I must say. Yeah, so roundup again. He's just very good at doing stuff like that. He's on Scarred Ghost. And then he did the same thing the next day with day two. He didn't actually do a day three, which I was looking all over the place and couldn't find it. But again, scarredghost.com, and there he is posing again. This is the one we showed a video of last week. It's the first laptop that doesn't have a screen. It actually has glasses to go with it. And I want that, basically. I mean, it's... it seems like I mean, ideally, I wouldn't need it. I would have the glasses and it would plug into an iPad and do the same thing. But it seems to me that, I think it's Android powered, I'm not sure. But as we saw in the video last week, it's excellent stuff. So, yeah, there he is, showing himself off and everything else like that. Just if you wanted to know more or less about everything that happened, he's the person to go to. Certainly for the first 2 days here. Right, so I'll remove that. And we weren't in any rush this week, but I am aware that we've now gone over the hours. So I did warn you folks, did I not?
No clocks today.
No clocks today, yeah. Yeah, no clocks today. The time has gone away. Yeah, that is good. A parody of a lyric to some song I've forgotten. Right, no milk today. No milk today. I can't remember what it is. 60s pop, I think, of some sort. Right. Big XR news for more. Yeah, this is xrtoday.com, XRTODY. Again, amongst all these sites, if you make a note of them, you can get a pretty good idea of what happened during the week. From different points of view. Roadtovr.com here. Big screen, optical improvements to increase field of view. This is the big screen thing, and the up and coming Beyond headset, which is coming from the company called Big Screen, I believe it is. And oh, interestingly, Joe. Have you heard the news today, oh boy? Well, I'm going to save that for another week. It's only a short one now, I must admit. Okay, xrsi.org. This is more about the XR Safety Initiative. We saw their video promo earlier near the beginning of the show. This is their site, and it's telling you what the XR Reality Safety Initiative is all about. Rebranding to X Reality, yeah, all the stuff that goes with it, really, for safety. Fairly brief stuff there, but a couple of links you can follow for more. Right, yeah, big screen we just did, didn't we? Right, boom times for XR at OR 2023. This is a post at Charlie Fink, right? And this is literally yesterday, Saturday, 3rd of June. Boom times for XR at OR. So he basically gives his roundup, not so much of the week, but I suppose it is the week, really. I imagine he spent pretty much all the week at OR, and he gives you his roundup there. Again, that's you can really kind of see. I mean, because it's now in a box, it's more obvious, but you really can see that that was him and that was him, or was it the other way around? You know, who knows? Yeah. A lot of the photos here are stuff that have been included elsewhere. Oh, that's quite interesting. That's Charlie Fink, and that's from his podcast. The video is Ronnie Abowitz, and it looks like he got to do the same trick. So there you go. There was more than one hologram doing it all. Interesting sort of stuff. Oh, and there he's wearing some goggles. Yeah, take a tip from Tish, no doubt. Excel, their new logo, of course, instead of Unreal. And yeah, there it is. That Space Top is called. It's just so great. A huge screen with lots of windows on it. Okay, but anyway, good roundup as always. So you'll find that at Forbes. I think it does get cross-posted a couple of other places if you have trouble getting to it. The best thing is, of course, to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Mal Burns, and you'll find all these links and more. And if you follow the links from my Twitter feed, I know it's a pain using Twitter these days, but if you follow those links, you'll normally get to the direct page that you need rather than the top level of the site. Oh, Scar Ghost made it. Okay. We got day 3, right? So he did do a day 3 roundup. I must have been losing count when I was grabbing all these posts. There he is. He's quite a clown when he wants to be, that guy. Yeah. Some of this stuff he covered already, actually, in that little video walkabout he did trying out the Ultra Leap, of course. But let in AR. So this is his roundup of day 3, and I haven't fully read this. He might have. Well, there's Ben Lang, interestingly, right? But he may have actually managed to find a few things that I had otherwise missed. And oh, there's John Furness, of course, who led one of the panels. And I mean, he writes so well and covers so much. You've got to forgive him all the selfies. Because they are really good reads. There's a blog called Selfie. Right, hands-on with serials, light field display, bringing a new layer of immersion to AR. This is Ben Lang at roadtovr.com, so ROADTOVR.com. And yeah, light field displays are yet another newish technology that promises to enhance our vision in natural vision in the personal space. There you go. And as usual, it's good, isn't it? Okay, I'll look at that more fully later. And finally, one more page here to go. I did the pictures, I've done all the videos. Oh, yes, we're fine. Okay, another recap on the 1st of June. This one would have been Friday. day 2 recap from Aura. Oh, right. I have a feeling. Right, this is right. This is awexr.com. And I know some of the stuff. This, I think, was one of the sites where you could actually, they had the embedded streams up. And they're actually offline now. The conference is over. I'm not sure about this one. Technically, it should have gone grayed out on my list here if it wasn't available. So it does look like there's something there. This, of course, was the yeah. This is the first day, the 1st of June, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, a few different pictures there. These are actually posted by the organisers themselves, of course, and they had the expo and the playground playthrough. All these were too long for me to show here, obviously, whatever. But you know, you know, even though I was there remotely, should we say, I mean, it was a really interesting event. I'm glad I sort of stuck with it. I often put the video of these things on and then sort of switch to multitask in the newsroom. But this one, you know, I pretty much watched everything as it happened. So, and there they all are having a party at the end there. That's a fitting picture to end on here, really, I think. So, yeah, that's our last. I was pause on that actually, because actually that's our last post. Just like the trumpet song. Is it a trumpet song? The last post. Ladies and gentlemen, NBC News has entered the last post.
The last post.
James, okay. Your thoughts on all this on this week?
Yeah, it was. The conference looked really entertaining, and I had not even thought about thinking to attend it, but I'll have to go back and watch some of the recaps.
I've pretty much, you know, I've been registered with them for ages because they also send me. That's where I get the all nights that they hold around the world videos from. They've always been good, actually. You know, it really is a bit understated, really, because all sort of the very names sort of made you think it was augmented reality, but they've always pretty stuck. They've always been XR, you know, the virtual reality and the Web3s and all the other stuff, you know, sort of tossed in there, so to speak. So, yeah, good stuff, indeed. Well, I guess we can let them go, can't we? Yeah. We've actually been on for an hour. We didn't start at 7 in our time, but we've been 20, yeah, an hour and
OBS says an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, so we're back like the old days when we hold the airwaves for Sunday nights. But no, there was so much with all there that you know, I wish we had another 3 hours so that I could actually replay extracts from some of the presentations. But as James says, they will be around in a few weeks' time, and I actually will, since I've got my pass to get in, so to speak, I will go in there and get copies of some of the ones. Well, I've got the 3 I want to keep, but there are a few others too. So, right, and of course the award ceremony itself was featured in that lot too. So anyway, it's all over for another year as far as Aura is concerned, and I think they did a wonderful job. And you just, you know, it wasn't just the content, but it's brilliant to look at too, the way it was all, you know, mixed and whatever. A lot of people involved, as you can see from that picture. Yep. I don't know whether that includes guests or whether that's just behind the scenes people, but yeah, a lot of them anyway. Right, well, unless you've got anything else to say, James, I think we'll let this lot go away.
Put this one to bed. That's right.
Yes, until next week. Hope you've enjoyed our awesome special. Okay. I thought James has got a sound. I thought James has a sound effect that goes.
I thought you were serious.
He's talking. Right. Okay. He found it. He's exhausted. Awe-inspiring it was indeed. Yeah. So hope you've enjoyed all that. We'll be at the same time, same place next week here in our studio in Open Simulator, and on the Hypergrid, no less, and also on YouTube, of course, the video. And that's it. Stay safe, everybody. My thanks to James, of course. Thank you, James.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mel. Thank you.
And yep, stay safe. I know summer's here, at least in the Northern Hemisphere. It is. It's down under there in Australia. It's your turn to stay indoors and keep it virtual. Because up here in the Northern Hemisphere, we're out in the streets. We've got a few months to go before we go back to being fully virtual sort of thing. Well, nah, kidding really. But yeah, if in doubt, stay indoors. You can, you know, if you have problems with health or travel systems not working anyway, the social infrastructure totally breaking down around you, then as long as your internet's still there, you can go online and do most things you did in the real world before the apocalypse. Oh God, I'm at it again, aren't I? Okay, we're out of here. Have a good one, everybody. See you next week. Bye for now.